Cootes Paradise, Chapter 15, Affair to Remember. Carl Schwartz slumped into his chair in his Central Station office, alone except for the extra-large Tim Hortons he grabbed on his way back from Century Manor. He still needed confirmation on his deceased, needed to follow up the lead Watkins had given him. He had a name, Jason Heath, and a number. He took a swill of coffee and turned to the phone on his desk. Before he could lift the receiver, it rang. "Carl, Sims at the front desk. Some guy just walked in here to hand over some property. I think he might have information about your mystery man." Schwartz grabbed his coffee and headed for the stairs. "Can I help you?" he asked of the young man waiting at the counter. "Just turning over some property." Pascal Lopes dropped a cell phone and wallet on the counter. The detective studied them. The waterlogged wallet was twice its normal thickness. He picked up the phone and pushed a few buttons. The display remained dark, probably water damaged as well. He opened the wallet. Inside the front fold, a driver's license. There, staring him in the face, was his victim, Danny Heath. "Where'd you get these?" Schwartz asked. "I drive for Uber. I got a call around 9:30 last night to pick this guy up in Dundas, just off Olympic Drive. GPS took me right to him. He flagged me down and jumped in the back. He was wet and kind of out of it, like he was hallucinating. Said he wanted to go to the hospital," began Lopes. "Which one?" said Carl. "That's the thing. He wanted to go to the psych hospital up near Fennel and West 5th. Said there was something wrong with his head." "And you took him?" "Hey, a fair's a fair. I drove up there, turned in off Fennel Ave. I stopped briefly, trying to figure out the best place to let him out, but he opened the back door and jumped out, took off running. I lost him in the darkness," continued Pascal. "So he ran off without paying?" "It's 2018, man. Paid by his phone. Easy peasy." "And you weren't concerned for the safety of someone that obviously didn't seem well?" "I was concerned. Like I said, he ran off quickly, and it was a busy night. Figured he'd make it inside. I guess I should have done more," Lopes added. "Did he say anything to you during your ride there?" asked Schwartz. "Not really. Just some moaning and mumbling, talking to himself more than anything." "But he definitely told you where he wanted to go?" "Yep. Was pretty clear on that. Even got Mohawk College typed in as his destination." "Mohawk College?" "Maybe he didn't know the name of the hospital up there, but knew it was across the street from the college." "And when did you find the wallet and phone?" "Not till this morning. He must have dropped it and kicked it under the front passenger seat. I always give the car a quick cleaning and inspection before I go out for the day. Got to keep my reputation up." Schwartz smirked. "You might lose a couple stars for not making sure a psychotic guy in medical distress got some help." The comment stung, and Lopes' face turned sullen. The detective looked him over. Was he a killer with a car? Wouldn't that be convenient, he thought. Probably too convenient. Even though there was no one to corroborate his story, he'd developed a pretty good sense of when someone was bullshitting him. This guy seemed legit. The detective asked a few more questions, took down some personal contact info. "Make sure I can find you if I have more questions," he said. "I have my phone with me 24/7, Lopes replied. Just like all the young kids nowadays, thought Carl. That's part of our problem. We're so focused on that little screen, we don't see the big picture. Carl dropped by forensics on his way back to his office. "Give this wallet the once-over, see if anything unusual pops up," he said to the technician. "I've got a dead cell phone, too. Probably soaked inside. Any chance you can resurrect it?" "Probably not, but we'll have a look. Depends how damaged it got. I'll let you know if I find anything," said the technician at the desk. Back in his office, Schwartz thought of this most recent development. He now knew who his guy was. The missing canoeist from Cootes Paradise. He also knew how he got from Dundas to the Central Mountain. Seeking medical aid, maybe delusional, he must have wandered toward the old Century Manor instead of the newer facility and got himself inside. What remained was the most pressing question. Why? Cootes Paradise, a Hamilton Spectator and thespec.com serial podcast.